The British University's kayaking expedition takes place every 2 years. 6 students are selected to organise and undertake a kayaking expedition to a destination of their choice. This year's team chose to explore the rivers of central Kalimantan, the Indonesian province of the island of Borneo. The first half of the team made the cross-continental flight a little earlier to set up some of the logistics.
Hello, I'm Aaron, I'm 20 and I study medicine at the University of Dundee.
My name's Barra, I go to the University of Surrey.
I'm Pritam Gurung and I am from Aberfeldy.
We fortunately met Kiki, who is a local guide here and has basically sorted everything out for us.
What you doing? I'm in ruins all alone.
And then once we sorted out all our visas and stuff, we took the riverboat from Samarinda up the Mahakam River into Malak. Pretty chilled out journey. The riverboat was pretty cool. It's like 2 stories. Upstairs was like the living area, and then downstairs there was like storage, and then a kind of balcony bit right at the very front of the boat. Yeah, so that was about 24 hours, and then the next morning we got up and it ended up being like 16 hours of the worst road in the world. We tied the boats on, obviously once when we left Malak, but the guy that was driving, he was so rough, like so fast on all these like super bumpy roads, we had to retie the boats like 4 times.
5 or 6 hours of this. What do you reckon?
Especially a few pingers and we're sorted. So since getting to Puchau, we've had a couple of chill days. So yesterday had a chance to fix my boat, which got split on the plane, and then also kind of finalise our plans with Ozzy. Ozzy's an absolute G. We met in Samarinda. Kiki introduced us to him. He's a trekking guide that knows the area really well. Definitely wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without him.
We managed to get the permit for where we're going, which is amazing. We're really stoked now. We've just loaded up the truck with all the kayaks. We've got a 8-9 hour drive. It's raining a little bit now, so hopefully it doesn't take any longer. And it's high apparently.
It looks high, it's brown. Yeah. Look at it.
Look how quick it's moving. It might be quite big.
We had to take a fat detour down the river, heading kind of away from where we want to go so we can cross to the other side of the river there. We get to Tumbangton, which is where we cross the river, and we're hoping to get a vehicle up the road to the Putin. We get here, but there's no cars to take us, so we had to stay the night.
Good morning. The river is significantly higher, like a metre plus, and bear in mind it's like 250 metres wide. That's a lot more water.
We've got a car, as you see, we're sitting in it, and we're about to head off. The river's going to be very high. It's going to be scary, but excited, very excited. Let's go.
Meanwhile, the remainder of the team had been making the long journey to central Kalimantan to meet up with the early team. Let's introduce them.
My name's Jonah, I go to the University of Dundee and I study medicine.
My name's Matt and I'm from Cotswold, Nottingham.
My name's Piers Oliphant and I have come from Newbury in southeast England.
We've got an hour to go until we meet the boys, and then 2 hours after that until we get to the top of the Basang.
I'm excited to see the boys. I'm very excited to see the boys. We've got some beers to greet them with, so yeah, can't beat it.
What was meant to be a 3 or 4 hour drive turned into about a 9 or 10 hour drive, and it wasn't until we were pretty much in the middle of nowhere that we realised we'd been going the wrong way. So we had to turn around and we ended up spending the night in a gold mining kind of almost like outback village somewhere. And then the next morning we packed our kit and set off. The actual drive through with them was pretty short, about 45 minutes, and the get on for it was pretty spectacular. It was like a scene from Jurassic Park. There was this huge bridge, concrete bridge that had fallen in on itself, and there was just like scattered old little villages everywhere, and it was amazing. It was such a great way to start the trip. The river started narrowing and gorging up into these amazing gorges, and it just kind of flowed into this kind of really fun grade 3-4 read and run. We must have smashed out 4 or 5k of that in maybe half an hour, and then we came to what we knew was the centrepiece. We were super stoked to finally get a big rapid under our belts.
We found a beach with a good selection of trees to set up our hammocks for the first time in the jungle.
A couple hours into the night we had like 2 or 3 big rainstorms. It like just pelted it down real wet. We were under our tarps, so it was fine, but like the river started rising. The river probably rose 2 or 3 meters. It's now super brown and boily, and so in the middle of the night we had to jump up, move, take down all the tarps and hammocks, go up into the jungle a bit further, like cut a new space with the old harangues, and set up a new camp basically. But yeah, it's a bit of an epic kind of like midnight rumble in the jungle. Some leech, some diarrhea, some standard jungle stuff, I guess.
All good.
Ants, but all good. Yeah, I think we're feeling good.
The rest of the river was probably about 30k of flat, but through the most amazing gorges you can imagine. Like 100 meter cliffs, black and white, with just palm trees and beautiful rainforest trees just everywhere, and there's waterfalls coming in from all angles, and it's just like the most stunning place you've ever been in your life. You're just getting followed by like huge cliffs on either side that just go up, and then rainforest just appears on the other side, and it's rainforest as far as the eye can see. So, you know, it was 30 kilometers of flat, but in the most incredible surroundings possible.
Tank of gas, don't need a map. Drive too fast, you're my North Star, you're my home. Doesn't matter where we go. Follow me to the unknown. 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 I'll keep you up with.
And then just to top off what was a pretty spectacular day, we're kind of paddling along and we see this tributary coming in with a huge amount of foam. We thought we just have to go and look at this. So we paddled up maybe 50 meters, and there was just the most clean 8 meter waterfall you could imagine. It was flat water below, flat water above, and it was just beautiful, and we thought we have to get this. So we spent an hour, you know, just rallying this waterfall. And we ended up in Morojolo. Energy level was high and stoke was high, and we were ready for what was to come, really.
Morojolo is situated at the confluence of the Busang and the Burrito River and became our base for the remainder of the trip. It found itself perfectly situated between all the sections we had planned to paddle, and the welcoming and friendly community made it very easy to come back to. We stayed at an informal hostel, we were cooked for, we drove from here, we got riverboats from here. We were also given helpful advice on the character of some of the rivers and the best ways to access them. Chateau, our riverboat driver, who soon became a really good friend, kindly let us store our kayaks in his boat shed and helped plan and organise the logistics for accessing all of the rivers we paddled. After resting in Morojolo for a day or two, we headed out to the next section of river we wanted to explore.
We're going to go try the Sibilik River again, Sibilik Rapids on the Joloi. The boys did it last week and keen to do it again, and we didn't manage it because we were late coming out. So going to go give it another go. Very excited, should be a good one.
Got the boat down from Morojolo, and then as we were driving up to get to the get-on, the river that we had to cross that they did before, the river was so high that the ford was impassable. So we decided that because we're going to have to stay a night there, we might as well paddle down that river. The locals all said it will take us half an hour, it's flat, nothing there. So off we go. Oh yeah!
Flat first descent, baby.
It's on.
Energy is fire, conversation is right. If you stay tonight, baby, I might let you say all of me. Want you here, need your mind in these sheets. Completely intertwined in our minds, yeah. Tell your future like a psychic. Baby, you gon' end up right in my bed. Chemistry is science. I could play it cool, but I'd be lying. I'll read you like a psychic. I'ma tell you something you gon' like it. Chemistry is science. Better than what you was fantasizing.
This is all probably 4 o'clock, 2 hours before dark, when suddenly the river isn't flat. We hit a tight gorge where the gradient just kind of drops off, and we didn't know at the time, but we're about to enter a extremely tight technical grade 5 boxed in gorge 2 hours before dark. We needed to get the drone out to scout the rapid. the end of the day, all went very smoothly. We worked great as a team. We learned a few things from that. First of all, don't go down something that you probably don't know what's there. Second of all, don't do it 2 hours before it gets dark. We named that section the secret section because it's a flat river with a little secret grade 5 gorge on it.
So after doing the Sibilik, we stayed a night in Tumbangtoan, and then we drove to Camby, which is at the top of the Sibilik Rapid section. The drive was pretty stout. We lost a bumper. It was super muddy, super gnarly driving, but fair play to the drivers, we managed to get there. When we got there, the river was 2 meters higher. Number 4, with 2 meters higher, was a lot bigger. Coming up to it, we just heard this massive rumble. We scouted from the right, there's a great path going down it. The laterals were double the size, the holes were even bigger. Me and Matt went first, and the shot is incredible. And then after that, we had about 20k flat paddle out, and we peeled on down to Murayoloi and arrived there not too late, which is great, and had more lovely food.
During our time in Murayoloi, Chateau's sister, Mrs. Yuli, cooked many delicious meals which helped us recover and refuel sufficiently. She made us lots of local dishes which made a nice change from our diet of dried noodles. After having successfully descended the Busang and the Sibilik Rapids, we had only one more major section to go.
The last section, which I think we're all most excited for, is the Songhai Babwelt. It looks incredible. Just about 40k of bedrock, steep slides, drops. Yeah, really unique looking river. No idea what it's going to look like in person, but from the satellite images, it looks pretty incredible.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we...
We've been on the riverboat for about 2 hours now, on the way to...
Tumbangtojan?
Yep, perfect. On the way to the Vivat River. About 4 hours to car journey today, and then we've been on the riverboat for about 2 hours. as you can see, it's quite dark, and we're in 2 boats at the moment, and the second one has broken down. It's quite cool to see actually. I think they're replacing the whole clutch. Hopefully it won't take too much longer because we're currently breaking into the river snacks. Definitely worst places to be broken down in. It's pretty epic.
Unfortunately, yesterday afternoon / evening, Aaron came down with, well, he's been ill for a few days now, but yesterday was kind of the peak of it, and he was pretty rough, passed out on the boat, using his watershed as a blanket. It was quite sad to see, really, but he's still alive today, but still recovering. So we've decided that it might be best to take another day here, chill out for a bit, rest.
And there was some kind of rumblings and mumblings in the village about that they couldn't take the boats with them, and that it was going to be really expensive. So we, Ozzy and Kiki, went for a chat with the chief. So we went down to the river to kind of check in and see what was happening, and there's quite a few grumbly old men who were just saying no, it wasn't happening. We got the boats on and shopped, and we managed to get like 2 boats and 2 people in a canoe quite happily, and we said let's go for a test drive to see how it handles. And so we went downstream and went to some rapids, and it turns out basically they just wanted to have a go in our kayaks. That was quite fun. We had a good swim in the river, and we saw a working gold mine on the way back, which was quite cool. And we made it back into Tumbung Tujang. And then Ozzy was like, this is ridiculously expensive, like they're not going down on the price. So we thought, you know, we're here for a day, we'll leave them to it and hopefully they'll be able to wear them down. So we went to bed that night, and it's quite usual to leave your sandals and shoes outside a house. My sandals were quite colourful, quite nice sandals, quite happy with them. And apparently someone liked them a lot too. So the next day I woke up and some lovely person had decided that they liked my sandals too much. But safe to say I was in a pretty foul mood the next morning, walking around barefoot in the mud. It wasn't very good. And then the mood was made even worse when we found out the locals wanted to charge us 40 million. And to kind of put that into clarity, it's cost us 67 million for the whole 4 weeks before that. So 40 million to go perhaps like 30 kilometers upstream and like an hour-long car drive was extortionate. So basically we had to cancel all of our plans.
As much as we want to do that river, we are, at the end of the day, just students who are trying to do this trip on a budget. So it's pretty sad, but we've got a good plan B. We are in the rainforest. It's going to continue raining, so still lots of good kayaking to come.
So I think we've got a pretty cool plan to go. So we got from here to Morojole is about 120 kilometers of this section of whitewater. They call it the 1,000 Rapids. It's not going to be crazy, but we're really excited just to spend some time in the rainforest.
Tell us what we're about to do.
Not really sure, I think some of it's been lost in translation.
Dan nanti akan kami beritahukan untuk kegiatannya mungkin mulai tanggal 18 bro.
We just met with the village chief and I'm assuming the village committee in the town hall of Murioloi 2. Basically a meeting discussing the organisation of the Independence Day kind of events that are to come. We're going to have a kayak race, which is going to be pretty cool. We also talked about the kayaking that we've been doing and the kayaking that we're planning on doing.
Well, after our discussions with the locals this morning, they wanted a go in the kayaks. So we're here on the river and they're having a go in the kayaks, doing widths of the river. Smashing it, to be honest. Yeah, it's great. Almost the whole village is down. The kids are here swimming around. Yeah, good times.
They've given us a bit of beta for a potentially very exciting river. Fingers crossed for some rain. Found dry season. Yeah, but we don't want it.
It's kind of carrying on up there.
Nightmare. I think we're going canyoning for the next 2 weeks.
If there's literally nothing else to do and it's not going to rain for the next 2 weeks, we may as well go explore and see what we can find at the gorges. I'd rather do that than sit around doing nothing.
Not 100%.
We saw this waterfall a couple of days ago, and from far away, in stonking high water, it looked like it had potential. But as you can see, it is not runnable. No kayaking today, but a nice day out.
What does the rain mean, Riam?
Banana! We're waiting for our lift to the Banana River. We've got one car and we just need Harry to hurry up.
And what time did you want to?
Oh, here he is.
Never mind. What are we about to do?
We are about to kayak the Banana River. I am very excited for this. We've driven far too long, but we are very close. We're finally about to get on the river.
What do you think it's going to be, Aaron?
Pool drop, a couple of waterfalls. It's warm. It's gonna be quite nice.
Do you think we're going to have an epic, Piers?
Not on this one. We're so well prepared. We've had such good learning experiences throughout the trip that we are now like that.
What's going on?
Well, we're definitely not having an epic. We're 15 minutes into the river and it's time for portage. Good old jungle shots.
itself is incredible. We're literally in the middle of nowhere. We sent the drone up earlier and it's just like pristine rainforest for miles and miles around. It's so cool. And like off to our left right now, we've got a waterfall kind of sitting there. It's incredible.
In the top, we've learned to try and do things slowly because otherwise you get so sweaty, but even then I am now dripping in sweat. Hammocks are very comfy on the way to go. Feel safe off the ground. Sick day, more to go.
The last couple of days have been really cool. There's been lots of people in the village who come from the local towns because it's Independence Day and there's kind of like a 4-day festivity. Today was really fun. It was basically like a school, like a village fete. We had a volleyball game against one of the local teams and I think we did pretty good. And we also did a sack race. Me and Piers both competed in that. And then in the final, I absolutely stacked it, and then Piers won. It was amazing. We also did a tug of war. Also played musical chairs. That's hilarious. The whole village watching everyone do the old musical chairs. Kiki even competed in the musical chairs. Unfortunately, stacked it, but you know, musical chairs is pretty wild. So you know, anything can happen. We also the slippery pole. So it was like big 8-meter pole, 6-meter pole with a load of like prizes at the top. Pole was covered in diesel and vegetable oil, so it was well hard. It was real slippy, so we were kind of just like scrambling up each other. Super awesome day. You know, the whole village was out. I think we didn't make too much of a fool of ourselves. Tomorrow, what we're doing is we're doing a little kayak race on the river.
Our funds are dried up, the rivers are dried up, so we decided to go with what we knew and head back to the Busang.
We only have one vehicle today, so this should be quite interesting. What we're doing is we're putting all 6 boats in the back, and then 4 of us in the car, and then 2 of us on the back of motorbikes to get there. We'll see how it goes. It'll be good.
We're on the back of a motorbike, 7 hours of hell. It should be fun, but I think it'll be tough.
The tool that isn't for the job has failed. It has a puncture and we don't have the correct size of tyre to replace, or size of inner tube to replace the inner tube, and we're at the back behind the car, which might have resources to fix it, but they don't know what's happened because they're at the front.
So Pritam and his motorbike have gone to try and find the car because the tyre didn't fit. We don't know how far ahead they are. It could be an hour or 2. And he's gone to find some water and I'm sitting in the shade. We have no food and no water because it was all in the car and we're in the middle of the rainforest. Interesting experience. Good fun though. 1.5 hours later, they've arrived, I think.
And this time we decided to start from the Malawa tributary, and turned out that the Malawa River was a great grade 3 read and run river. We had an amazing camp over there in like some of the best, most active rainforests we'd seen. Birds galore, monkeys in the trees just above where we were camping. It was pretty stunning. We finally joined the Busang River the next day, had maybe 10k of flat before getting to the whitewater section, which turned out to be an absolute gem at low levels. We've just stopped at Chateau's houseboat, which is actually a gold mine. We just had some lunch with his family, and then we're going to do some fishing and then head downstream for a goodbye party and festivities at Priest's house.
The sheer hospitality that we've experienced in Indonesia has been breathtaking. Of course, the rainforest was incredible. The rivers were pristine, amazing first ascents. But I think what made it for me was the kindness that we've experienced, and it's made our trip so comfortable. Coming off the river in Murujo, it was like coming home. Even though we were only there for what, like 4 weeks. It's maybe even more rare to find a place like that than finding some of these rapids and some of these rivers that haven't been paddled before. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, what I'm grateful about this trip is how well we work as a team. It's very rare that a group of almost random people come together, and we've got on so well. We've had the best time ripping into each other the whole time. Had so many chats, got to know everyone so well, and there was plenty of times where it got a bit hairy on the water, and we all just locked in, got our heads down, worked really well as a team.
What the